All muted.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay. We'll start with Grant Ramey.
Coach has been pretty quiet the last couple games after having some productive outings. What can he do to get back to producing some?
Is that Urosh?
Urosh Blasic, yeah.
Well, some of it, Grant, has been we've played against some teams that have gone all guards. We've at times there's been, 4 guards, a post player that you could really classify as a guard too. And so we've had to size down and see if they would then, when we went big, it happened the other night against Texas A&M. They came out with guards, and then we got 2 quick offensive rebounds, and they sized up, and we were about to size down at the same time because we felt like we needed a. So that goes on throughout a game where different lineups will call on different things, but we just need him to continue to bring the energy and the effort that he has up to this point, and if he'll do that. We just need him to play the role that he's been playing, and just know that each game can be determined by sometimes what the other team does as well.
Mike Wilson, Jimmy Himes, and Jackson.
Yeah, Rick, it seems like VJ and Justin Powell are kind of settling into the things that you need them to do on a more regular basis. How does them doing that game in, game out change what your team can be and what it does?
It's a major factor if they can do that. If we know that what we're going to get out of each one of those guys every night, it changes everything because they both bring 2 totally different aspects to the game. I mean, VJ's athletic ability and he guards it at a very high level. Justin, Justin's really, his defense has gotten so much better. We just need both of those guys to play to their ability and you said it, do the things that we've asked them to do and settle into it and be consistent.
Rick, in regard to Olivier Combois, is he starting to show the consistency that you want?
Yeah, he is, Jimmy. And you feel like with Olivier, it was a matter of time, and now it's going to be, can he maintain that? I think he is getting more comfortable. I think he's starting to understand the game as a whole, as opposed to just pieces of it. We've told him for a long time, in basketball, when you're, because, he's a guy that every day after practice, or, he's going to sit out there and work on his skills and play one-on-one and with certain guys. But in a game, we've told him, you're never going to play a one-on-one basketball game because people are going to be coming from here, there, maybe everywhere. But I think that's where he's starting to find out that he's going to have to be quick in space, in a tight space, knowing that those gaps close real quickly. And I think the more he can, and I do think the game's slowing down for him, which I think is a big part of basketball. Once the more you're out there, the more it does slow down for you. And we expect to see him to improve with it.
Yeah, Coach, after an offensive performance like you had Tuesday night as a team, do you think your team's confidence is higher going in on the road this weekend compared to last weekend?
Yeah, that's hard to, because, we've been there before where someone has asked me that same question after we've had a good offensive night and then we have followed up with not such a good offensive night. I think our team has been confident. I do. I think that some of it has been, we've had some young guys as, that are learning how to settle into the roles that we need them to play and the consistency part of it. I like to think that, we're confident. I think it still goes back if we take shots when we're open, we play our best basketball when we hold on to it. And for whatever reason, I wish I could tell you why guys turn down shots. I don't know, especially ones that they know that's exactly what they're supposed to be doing for us. But I like to think that we go into each game with confidence. And now whether or not we're going to score 80, 90 points a night, I like to see us do that. But so much of it depends on one thing for certain. Tomorrow we're playing against a very fast-paced basketball team. They play about as quick as we'd like to play. So the opportunity to score a lot of points will be there, but yet you're talking about 2 teams that pride themselves on the defensive end, that as much as they want to score at a high clip and play at a fast pace, they're going to do everything they possibly can do to keep the other team from doing that. And so sometimes your opponent has a lot to do with how you play offensively, but we just want to be consistent and know that we can play with the way that we practice. And if we can do that, we'll see how it all unfolds for us.
Rob, Wes, then Jimmy.
Coach, South Carolina lost Tuesday, but before that, they'd won 3 straight. What have they kind of been doing better since you saw them the first time?
Well, I think a lot like us, other teams, I think they are starting to be able to settle into a rotation. You know, their 3 perimeter players are shooting the ball extremely well. They play, you know, I tell you what they've done through those runs. They've had big runs in the second half. They're the 2-2-1 zone press that they run. They've been able to turn people over, convert that. But in their wins, they have had where they've come from behind, or either it was a close game where they were leading. They have gone on big runs in the second half. And so that's something that we've got to certainly, we're aware of it. We know it. And, but I think they're playing with confidence, which they should, because again, you guys know my feelings towards Frank Martin, and he's a terrific coach, and he's never going to let his guys not continue to get better. And they've done just that, where, you know, they seem to feel really good about where they are with their rotation as a team, and guys are in the roles they want them to be in. And like I said, you can write it down every time you play against Frank and his team, they're going to get after you on the defensive end. And now they're really getting some good stuff out of their zone press.
Yeah, Rick, as a coach, how tough is it to find that line between, you know, a mistake that a guy or a kid will make in a game that you kind of, you know, you're not okay with it, but you kind of have to let him play through it and learn, versus the kind of mistake that it's like, I can't have you on the court right now.
You know what? I would say this. It's the kind of mistakes that are made is what I would tell you first. I mean, you know, we're with these guys every day. We know them better than people can even imagine. And when we see, and so much of it honestly depends on the way they're carrying themselves out there, and the way that mistake is made. If it's made in a nonchalant way, like we might see in practice, we know that through practice that, hey, this is getting ready to compound itself. We owe it to our team and our program that we've got to win basketball games, and we know we're in possession games every night. But I think it gets back to the way we read people, and we tell our guys sometimes, we don't want turnovers, but some of them are going to happen. If it happens the way that where somebody's trying to make the right pass and it gets deflected or something like that, we're not pulling guys out for that. It's when they start doing things on the court that we haven't seen them do in practice. It could be taking a shot that we haven't seen in practice, taking a shot that's not part of what we want to see. It could be not blocking out. The things that we normally substitute for quickly to get attention is missed blockouts, because especially when that is a key emphasis in the game. If we see a guy not making the effort to do that, we've got to get him out. And we got to at least get them to understand, hey, this is a big part of our game plan. We see somebody in the low post. We tell them before the game, they're going to double team. We don't want you to turn and start dribbling the ball. You need to turn, face. You're going to get double team. Look here. If they get the ball and do just that, we got to get them out, because they're not in tune with what we're supposed to be doing as a team. But we're not looking to pull everybody for a mistake just every single time. It's those that we think it's a lack of concentration. It's a lack of being in tune with what we're trying to get done from our game plan, whether we're talking offense or defense. It could be a ball screen missed coverage. It could be a guy that a lot of people might not think is involved in the play. It could be a perimeter guy on the back line that doesn't give us the correct tag on a high ball screen. Everybody says why he might be coming out of the game. That's a crucial thing, because those guys up on the ball are working hard to do their job, and they don't get help from behind, and they're looking like, it makes it look like they got scored on, when in reality it was someone in the back. And those are just simple letdowns of concentration that you can't have. And again, it goes back to practice. We know guys that sometimes when they have one, they're prone to put a couple more together, and we want to stop it as quickly as we can.
Rick, you've had some recent games with some scoring droughts, and I wonder, is that because you're simply missing shots? Is it turning down good shots? Is it maybe the point guard's not getting you in the offense as you would like? What do you think's led to that?
When we look at almost every game after we come back, most of the time, it could be a little bit of all that. It could be us not playing with the speed to get where we want to get quickly. And speed is not just running the ball down the floor. We're talking about, not over dribbling the basketball, not being a ball stopper, getting the ball moving. We've had guys turn down shots. There's no question. We've had guys turn down shots, and then we've had situations where, lack of execution. We call a play and one guy doesn't run it, and it breaks down. Then it puts you in a scramble mode, it backs you up against the clock, and guys might have to force up a shot that you don't want. So it's a combination of a lot of different things. It's not just one thing, but it goes back to, and we've said it, we're in February now. We should always know how to execute a play that we call. We should know exactly what we're looking for in those plays, but you got to give some credit to the other team too. They might not have trapped the whole game or done something. They could come out and do something different. So that goes back to where players have to be alert and know that, we try to tell them coming out of every timeout, expect a trap, expect this, expect that. And we've got something for all that, but they're the ones that have to react to it.
Finish up with Rob, then Grant.
Coach, Kennedy and Santiago are your only double-digit scores in conference play since it started. How much better, how much easier is it on offense when you get what you got from Olivier and Josiah on Tuesday night?
It makes a huge difference, huge, where we get that, where we because as you know, I would imagine that those two guys are probably being game planned for, Santi and Kennedy, and I would even throw Zakai in there. People are probably concerned about the speed of those guys and talk about that and how they can defend that. And so with that said, we need consistency, and Josiah has certainly proven that he can. He played with a level of speed the other night that was really impressive. That layup he made coming down the sideline, one bounce in front of her basket, got to the rim, and Olivier, like we talked earlier, I do think he's getting more comfortable where the game is slowing down for him, but we need it. There's no question. We need it from some other guys, not just those. We need what Justin Powell gave us. We need what VJ gives. We need what Jemiah Mashak can give us coming in, because he brings a little bit different twist to the game when he comes in, because he has the ability to drive it and get deep against the grain of that defense. And Brandon, we need Brandon Fulke. Think about it. Start of the season, you would have thought that Fulke would probably have been our leading scorer, but we need him to understand that he's been in the league a long time, and coaches know how to play him, and they're not going to let him do the way he wants to play. And we've talked long and hard with him about making the adjustment that he needs to make, but we need those other guys to give us some buckets.
You guys are 3-6 away from home this season. Do you think that's more about your team or more about how the schedule's played out?
Who are the 6 losses? Tell me the 6 losses, and I'll tell you.
Texas Tech, Villanova, LSU, Alabama, Kentucky.
Well, you go to the Tech game. Not very good on offense there, but had a shot, just like the Texas game, to win it at the buzzer. Kentucky, we never had a shot at that one. I didn't feel like we ever, after the first 2 minutes of the game with Kennedy getting those tough fouls against Villanova, we were fighting uphill all the way. LSU, I can't. Well, there I don't remember what was it like there, but Alabama, that's right after Christmas without John and Kennedy. But I would say, again, it's tough to win on the road anywhere. Neutral sites, you think it's a 50-50 toss up. It's anybody can get those, but when you go on the road in conference, winning a conference road game is really, really hard to do. It's hard. You look at it, every league in the country where you go, there's not a coach at any level. I don't care what league you're talking about. I don't care if they're going to play the first place team or the last place team. Nobody thinks it's ever going to be easy. They know you're going to have to play well. We've got enough respect for the game to know that that other team wants to win as badly as we do. And So sometimes, I mean, it's more difficult than people might think when you go on the road, but you don't have a chance when you're the visiting team and you have a chance to win the game. You can't keep throwing lifelines to the home team. You can't. Even at home the other night, think about it. We had a chance to maybe put that game away earlier, not to take anything away from Texas A&M. I mean, they kept fighting back, and but we threw in some lifelines too. Where the turnovers that we gave them were, the kind you can't have. So it's difficult to win whether you're at home or on the road. But we just got to go fight and play as hard as we can, and hope we play good basketball.
All right, thank you, Coach. We'll have Justin Powell up next in just a moment.
Thank you.